Millennium Sports World. Today we will start with World Cup Big Bash opening ceremony news and the opening match report. Beside that, we will take you on a tour from local sports to international sports including MMA, golf, hockey, tennis, auto race, boxing, NFL and some more World Cup football news. So let's explore today's sports world. The Qatar World Cup has kicked off with a spectacular opening ceremony at the Al Bayt Stadium in Doha. Before the first ball is even kicked, a stunning light, sound and entertainment show enthralled a global television audience of hundreds of millions as the world looks to Qatar. Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani addressed the crowd as part of the opening ceremony. The mascot of the 21 previous World Cups all made an appearance as songs representing all the qualified nations played, and a giant version of this year's mascot, Laib, then made an appearance as it floated around the pitch. The ceremony started with a presentation narrated by actor Morgan Freeman and Qatari YouTuber Ghanim Al Mufta, who read out a verse from the Quran about diversity. O mankind! Indeed, we have created you from male and female, and made you peoples and tribes that you may know one another, Al-Mufta said. The theme was about the gathering of all mankind, bridging differences through humanity, respect and inclusion. A 7-act program was led by world-class talents that interlaced Qatari tradition with worldwide culture and included tributes to the 32 competing teams, previous FIFA World Cup hosts and even volunteers. Jungkook from the South Korea band BTS performed with Qatari singer Fahad Al-Kubaisi, a rendition of the official World Cup song Dreamers for the sellout crowd with giant mascots of all the old World Cups to kick off the world's greatest sporting extravaganza. The Qatari and Arab art form of the Ardha war dance was performed and then Qatar's Emir Sheikh Tamim made a rousing speech. From Qatar and from the Arab world, we welcome everyone to the championships, he said. The World Cup trophy, which is 6.17 kg of 18-karat gold and worth 20 million, was brought into the arena with a number of legends of the game. Among them was Frenchman Marcel Desailly, Spaniard Iker Casillas, and Brazilians Roberto Carlos and Gilberto Silva. To round it off, fireworks filled the night sky, and it was a remarkable event beamed to 5 billion people all around the world. Meanwhile, at the Fans Festival on the Corniche in Doha, tens of thousands of football fans turned out to celebrate the start of the World Cup, where they enjoyed a spectacular light show, fireworks, more World Cup legends, and well-known DJ playing songs late into the night. Crowds of fans in football shirts were singing football songs and having a wonderful time. Hands of every color were being shaken and there was a real sense of togetherness. The show ended with a bang as the words, "Welcome to Qatar," filled the sky. Qatar is now the first host nation to lose a World Cup opener. A double strike from striker Ener Valencia in the first half helped Ecuador beat host Qatar in the World Cup 2022 opener at the Al Bayt Stadium in Al Khor on Sunday. The 2-0 victory for Ecuador also meant Qatar made an unwanted record of becoming the first ever host nation to lose a World Cup opener. Valencia put Ecuador ahead in the 16th minute from the spot before doubling the lead in 32nd minute when he headed home a cross from Angelo Preciado from the right flank. Valencia could also have scored a first half hat-trick had VAR not disallowed a goal in the 3rd minute of the game. Ecuador winning made Qatar the first host nation to lose the opening game in the World Cup. Joe Rana, Joe Scally and Yusuf Musa were 11 years old the last time the United States took the field in a World Cup match. On the 3066th day after that loss in Brazil, the Americans returned to soccer's showcase with a new-look team dreaming lofty goals and hoping for actual ones. Filled with novelty, nerves and naivety, This young American team take the field against Wales on Monday night in a match a growing fan base back home has been pining for since 2014. 3 years, 4 years of just working up to this moment. I think all the guys are ready to go, midfielder Weston McKennie said. A Friday match against England follows and group play ends November 29 against Iran, which famously eliminated the US from the 1998 World Cup in France. This year, Tyler Adams to captain US, youngest at this year's World Cup. Adams was appointed captain at the unusual age of 23, the youngest at this year's tournament and the youngest for the Americans at the Soccer Showcase since Walter Burr in 1950. Adams was elected captain in a vote by about 35 players held in September and announced on the eve of the national team's tournament opener against Wales. Not every big soccer star will be playing at the World Cup. Some will be missing from the tournament in Qatar because of injuries or because their countries didn't qualify, including Ballon d'Or winner Karim Benzema of France and runner-up Sadio Mane of Senegal. Those two voted the world's top 2 players this year were ruled out of the World Cup with injury days before kickoff. Among other players who will not play due to injuries or for not qualifying the team, some of the names are Erling Haaland of Norway, Mohamed Salah of Egypt, Paul Pogba of France, N'Golo Kante of France, David Alaba of Austria, Luis Diaz of Colombia, Gianluigi Donnarumma of Italy, Diogo Jota of Portugal. FIFA earned record revenues of $7.5 billion in the 4 years of commercial deals tied to the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, the governing body of soccer said Sunday. The last 3 sponsors, 2 American and 1 from the Middle East, were announced hours before the opening game. YouTube Visit Las Vegas and Fine Hygienic Holding, all in the 3rd tier category of regional sponsors. The late arrivals to complete the slate of World Cup sponsors helped lift FIFA's 4-year income to more than $1 billion ahead of the previous commercial cycle linked to the 2018 World Cup in Russia. The numbers were revealed Sunday at a closed-doors meeting of more than 200 FIFA member federations whose cash grants from the Switzerland-based soccer body have risen sharply since Gianni Infantino was elected in 2016. The extra income was buoyed by commercial deals with state-backed companies in the gas-rich World Cup host country. Qatar Energy joined as a top-tier sponsor, and new third-tier sponsors include Qatari bank QNB and telecoms firm Ooredoo. FIFA also added second-tier sponsor deals this year from financial platform Crypto.com and a blockchain provider that became its first new American sponsor in more than a decade. In DP World Tour Championship, Jon Rahm earns impressive win in Dubai as Rory McIlroy ends season number 1. Rory McIlroy ends season top of the DP World Tour rankings for a 4th time after a 4th place finish in Dubai. Jon Rahm won the event for a 3rd time with a 2-shot victory over Tyrrell Hatton and Alex Noren. Jon Rahm secured a 3rd DP World Tour Championship victory with a 2-shot win in Dubai, as Rory McIlroy ended the season top of the DP World Tour rankings. Rahm took a 1-shot advantage into the final round and never left the top of the leaderboard during an entertaining final round at Jumeirah Golf Estates in Dubai, mixing 6 birdies with a lone bogey to end the week on 20 under. The Spaniard's closest challenge came from Tyrrell Hatton and Alex Noren, who carded rounds of 66 and 67 respectively to share second spot, with McIlroy a further stroke back in 4th spot after a 4 under 68. McIlroy's finish ensured he retained his place at the top of the season-long DP World Tour rankings and secured him the Harry Verdon Trophy for a 4th time, with the world number 1 also becoming only the 2nd player in history to win the PGA Tour's FedEx Cup and the DP World Tour Order of Merit in the same season. James Cross pulled from Miles Jones' corner due to betting investigation. James Cross was removed from Miles Jones' corner ahead of UFC Fight Night 215 due to an ongoing gambling probe involving the Glory MMA and fitness coach. According to a report from ESPN, the UFC and the Nevada State Athletic Commission determined that Cross should not be cornering fighters, while the UFC Fight Night 214 bout between Derek Minner and Nurdanbek Shailan, which he cornered, is still under investigation by betting integrity firm US Integrity. However, Cross was not suspended by the UFC, as Jones indicated in a post-fight interview. Minner versus Shailan attracted attention when the betting line shifted significantly towards Shailan in the hours leading up to the fight, including a significant amount of wagering on the Chinese fighter to win inside of a round. Shailan won the November 5 bout via first round TKO 67 seconds into round 1 after a hobbled Minner clutched at his left leg early in the fight. It was later revealed that Minner may have been injured going into the fight, something for which he may face discipline from the NSSC for not disclosing the ailment ahead of time. In addition to US Integrity, the Minner-Shailan fight is under investigation by the UFC's betting integrity partner. Max Verstappen won a record-extending 15th race of the year at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix on Sunday to conclude one of the most dominant seasons in Formula One history. A year on from Verstappen's tense and controversial win over Lewis Hamilton to seal his first title, there was little drama at the Yas Marina circuit. Verstappen stayed ahead of his teammate Sergio Perez at the start and was never seriously challenged after that on his way to victory. Incredible to win again here. 15th win of the season is unbelievable, he said. It's been really enjoyable to work with the whole team and to be able to achieve something like this year. Ferrari's Charles Leclerc held off Perez's challenge on old tires to finish second and clinch second place in the championship standings, thwarting Red Bull's bid to have its drivers place first and second. Leclerc finished 3 points ahead of Perez in the standings. That meant Verstappen's refusal to yield 6th place to his teammate at the last race in Brazil was not decisive at the end of the season. Logan Sargent earned the super license he needed to race for Williams in Formula One and will become the first American on the grid since 2015 when he makes his debut next season. Sargent needed to finish at least 6th in the season standings in Formula 2 to qualify for an F1 super license. Williams earlier said the Florida-born driver would get the seat for 2023 if he met the requirements and helped him do so by giving him practice time in F1 sessions. Sargent finished 4th in the F2 standings after a 5th place result in the last race of the season Sunday. Between Kenny McIntosh and Jack Podlesny, top-ranked Georgia got all the important points it needed on a day where style points weren't possible. McIntosh rushed for a career-best 143 yards, including a crucial 9-yard score late in the third quarter, and the Bulldogs withstood Kentucky's fourth-quarter rally Saturday for a 16-6 win and its second consecutive unbeaten season in the Southeastern Conference. The Bulldogs clinched the Eastern Division title last week and sought another perfect finish in league play. They came away as just the third ACC team since 1992 to post consecutive 8-0 league marks, following Alabama and Florida. Georgia's success wasn't easy in cold, windy conditions, and it settled for 3 Podlesny field goals before McIntosh's TD provided a needed cushion. Anthony Yarde has secured a world title shot against fearsome unified world champion Artur Beterbiev at the Ovio Arena, Wembley on January 28. Yarde stopped Stephanie Koikov in the third round on Saturday night before confirming he will challenge Beterbiev for the WBC, WBO and IBF light heavyweight belts in London. Beterbiev added the WBO belt to his collection with a second-round stoppage of Joe Smith Jr. in June, extending his record to 18 victories, all by knockout. I never back down from a challenge, and Anthony Yarde is a top contender who asked for this fight, said Beterbiev, who was defeated by Alexander Usyk at the London 2012 Olympic Games. Yarde called me slow after my fight with Joe Smith Jr., but slow and steady wins the race, and on January 28, I will win in London. Yarde was halted by Sergey Kovalev in his only previous world title fight in 2019, but the Hackney man has vowed to shock Beterbiev. Overall World Cup champion Mikaela Shiffrin of the United States wasted no time in taking control of a new season, sweeping the two-season opening races on Sunday. Shiffrin posted the fastest time in both runs on the way to her 49th slalom victory, just a day after winning another slalom in Finnish Lapland. No other skier has won more titles in a single competition than the 27-year-old Colorado native. Two races in a row like that, it's a really big effort, so I am just very happy, Shiffrin said. She reached her 68th slalom podium, also a record in the women's competition, one more than compatriot Lindsey Vonn in downhill races. France completed a calendar year of Test rugby with a first perfect winning record after topping a competitive Japan 35-17 on Sunday. France's 10th win in 10 tests and third defeat of Japan this year never looked in doubt after the opening minutes. The tricolors dominated up front and steadily built a 21-3 lead by halftime. Then the rain stopped, the play opened up, and Japan was more comfortable with the dry ball. Both sides added 2 tries each, and Japan joined France in a lap of honor that the packed crowd savored at Stadium de Toulouse. Victory also extended France's year-long record-winning streak to 13 tests, and it goes into the new year threatening the men's world record of 18 straight wins. The Japanese will return to Toulouse for the Rugby World Cup in less than months. The Southeast city is their base, and the stadium will host 2 of their games. Player compensation on the ATP Tour and the lower-level ATP Challenger Tour will rise to a record $217.9 million combined in 2023, thanks to a $37.5 million increase announced Thursday. That is the largest single-season jump for the men's tennis circuit. On-site prize money will go up $18.6 million on the ATP Tour, boosted by the growth of Masters 1000 tournaments in Madrid, Rome and Shanghai from 8 to 12-day events. The Masters 1000s in Canada and Cincinnati will both expand to 12 days in 2025. The ATP is also increasing its 2023 bonus pools to $21.3 million, an 85% increase from 2022. Prize money for the ATP Challenger Tour is set to go up 75% next season, from $12.1 million to $21.1 million. The ATP Tour said in June it was establishing a new profit-sharing formula that would result in more money going to players. That's all in today's Sports World. Keep watching Millennium Sports World for latest sports updates. Millennium TV USA and Millennium News 24 network is transmitted and available to be watched free for all at TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jadoo TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all types of informative and entertainment programs. Thank you.